When Federal Broadband Minister Stephen Conroy was here, he said the NBN will dramatically improve how the council engages with the community, and has that been the case?
Well, it has, and Kiama Council's been very fortunate that we've been part of the pilot program for the NBN, and we now have, by the end of the year, we'll have 85% of our municipality connected, privately connected through households. But by undertaking and being part of the pilot program, we were the first council in New South Wales to, not in New South Wales, in the nationally, to be connected on the mainland. And I've seen a dramatic improvement in council services already, just with the delivery of council business papers. Most of the council, I still have the written business paper in front of me, but most of the councillors now are using their iPads. But also too, we're just ready to introduce a organic food waste trial with residents in North Kiama, and where we're encouraging residents to reduce throwing their food scraps into just garbage to reduce our landfill. And with that process, we're going to trial an interactive two-way communication using the NBN. So residents there to find out how they sort their garbage and their food waste will be able to go online and speak directly with a council officer, ask questions, and the council officer will reply and show them what to do. And tomorrow at the Kiama Library, we're launching a smartphone program where we will have our own app with our Heritage Walk, and tourists and visitors to Kiama will be able to source that app on the phone and do a Heritage Walk through the town, where they will speak to older residents and who will in front of buildings, and they'll be able to go to the building, look at the iPhone, and there'll be a senior resident come up there and explain about their experience with that particular heritage building in the town. So we're doing some really good things. And
this is only early days with the NBN, so there's much more on the agenda probably around the corner.
Yeah, so it is really good, and I also feel that one of the problems with local councils often when you make decisions, and I'm an elected councillor, and you know, you have a crisis of conscience, you say, oh well, have I really consulted with all of the community before I make that decision? And that's where I think it will come into its own in the future. Often I attend public meetings now, and they're either usually retired people or people that have an interest, or they have their own agenda. But particularly for younger people in the community, their rights or their views are just as important. They're more savvy and know the intellectual property of the NBN, and they'll be able to lodge a comment at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, or source some public information from council, instead of coming in and saying, oh look, can I look at that file, or I want to find some information. It's public information. They'll be able to just source it independently and have access to it from their own home.
Are you the first council to have your own app?
Yes.
Like tomorrow when you're there?
Yes, we will be.
Wow. So
I think so. Like, I'm not quite
I
sure with
heard of it before.
Yes, we already have one with Kiama Tourism.
Okay.
So Kiama Tourism have got their own app now, but tomorrow we'll have this with our Heritage Walk. So I've really enjoyed, and being part of the process, and I've learnt a lot of things about this new technology and way of delivering services and connecting with the community that I thought I'd never ever be part of, and it's been great.
You've either got to keep up or be left behind, haven't you? Another question. Excuse me. Kiama is following Wollongong and Shell Harbour and scrapping the curbside clean-up days in favour of a more streamlined version. The other councils cited cost, but Kiama's reason has been the extremely high risk of injury to staff during the collections. I found that unusual. Can you give me an example, Ruth?
Well, we can't, and it was debated. This was part of the council business paper on Tuesday night, and really we've had a very proactive, positive occupational health and safety program, and the council made the decision to actually defer the matter. Some of the reasons, the council were very supportive of retaining the curbside recycling and cleaner for some very good reasons. We have a high age population, so we have a large proportion of our community of 65 and over. A lot of those may not be, a lot of those citizens and residents may no longer be driving or don't have a utility or the ways of transporting that material to the tip. So council really supported the retention of the annual clean-up, and we have introduced 4 second-hand Saturdays already, where residents bring their second-hand goods that can be traded to either a particular area, and either a Rotary club or a surf club actually runs that process, and that's worked well. And at the end of the Saturday, where residents can swap or trade, the council brings the trucks and collects all the rubbish there in the one system. So that has been working well, and I think the view of the council staff was to perhaps put that up, but the council decided that no, they wanted to retain the curbside recycling, but they would also have a briefing and look at the occupational health and safety issue and see if we needed to provide some more training for the staff.
So concerns over the aged residents and things like that, that was the problem. The risk of injury to the aged residents, was that one of the main things?
Well, see, there's 2 things with curbside recycling. Often you do get other residents sort of going around and sorting through the rubbish. Often, sometimes you can get the main concern was to do with e-waste. I think councils, all councils now are very strict with the e-waste collection, such as computers, TVs. A lot of the elements in that are quite toxic, and if they're left out on the curbside, so there is a cost of $35. Usually, I think it's about $35 to deposit that at any of the local tips. So what has occurred, I think, with the annual clean-up is people not following those rules and using that as an opportunity to to being irresponsible and leaving their TVs that in front of other houses. So that was raised, but we listened to all of those arguments, but the council made the decision to still retain the curbside collection, at least on an annual basis.
Excellent. Final question. Is the council worried about the impact the nearby expanded Stockland shopping centre will have or is having on the town?
Kiama Council is very supportive of the Stockland shopping centre, and also very supportive of the Shell Harbour Council future planning to develop the heart for the city. We feel that with the extra services and also the high quality shopping now with the expanded Stockland at Shell Harbour, it's a really positive step of stopping that escape spending to Miranda Fair and Sydney, and keeping the private spending and shopping spending here in the Illawarra. Kiama and Gerringong, Jamberoo, I think when we have, you know, the larger supermarkets as well as larger merchandising stores at Shellharbour, our focus is more on local and boutique shopping and shopping that supports the tourists and visitors.
Have you had any indication from businesses of escape spending to Stockland at this early stage?
Well, I was meeting with the Chamber of Commerce. I think the first week when it opened with all of the specials, I think shopping was very, very quiet in Kiama. But the Chamber of Commerce are very, very positive and realise that that Shellharbour's here to stay, and the way that they can work with the expanded shopping facilities at Shellharbour is to offer a different, more localised and boutique product.
I recall too, you're pressing for a second supermarket, aren't you, Kiama?
Yes, we are, and I think that's very, very important for Kiama. But for those, you know, Shellharbour, you know, for those larger, you know, like Whitewoods, all of the other facilities that offers, it can work really well. But at the moment in Kiama, we only do have the one supermarket, and we really do need an alternative, particularly for just competition, and also I think we're very passionate about the supply of you know, fruit and vegetables and that local produce, and I think with an alternative supermarket that may be an opportunity that's realised.
Any closer to getting one?
Well, I hope that we will get an offer in the future. We've had over the last 10 years, there's been a lot of alternative supermarkets to the one that we have come and look for land in Kiama, but I think that will be realised, that opportunity will be realised in the future.
Well, Madam Mayor, thank you for answering our questions.
Yeah.